They're off in the Preakness. New York traffic veered out at the break in the Philly-Swiss Skydiver came out strongly. 1,000 Words and Stablemate Authentic are right behind, and Art Collector is fourth early on. Then Pneumatic on the outside. Live Your Beast Life outside of Jesus' team. New York traffic is next. Mr. Big News is racing 9 lengths from the front. Then Max Player on the inside and Accession. So Bob Baffert's horses are 1-2 into that first turn. 1,000 Words is leading Authentic by a half a length. The opening quarter mile was slow. 24.48 seconds. Pneumatic is third on the outside, while going 3 wide on that turn. Saving all the ground on the rail is Swiss Skydiver. Art Collector is between those two, racing just 3 lengths off the lead as Authentic sticks his neck in front of the backstretch, taking over from 1,000 Words now. Pneumatic and Art Collector right there in contention. Swiss Skydiver is fifth, and then New York traffic on the outside. Jesus' team, Mr. Big News, Max Player sent through on the inside. Live Your Beast Life and Accession. 47.65 was the half mile, and an early move now. Swiss Skydiver come through on the inside of Authentic, and the two of them are now matching strides as they race for the far turn. The fillies in front, Swiss Skydiver by a neck. Authentic on the outside second. Pneumatic is third. Art Collector is coming under pressure. He has to do better. After that, in fifth position comes Jesus' team. 3/4 up in 111.24, and they're into the stretch, and it's Swiss Skydiver, the filly, and the Kentucky Derby winner Authentic. They are nose to nose as they arrive at the final furlong. Swiss Skydiver digs in at the rail. Authentic on the outside. These two putting on a show. The Derby winner and the filly. Swiss Skydiver inside. Authentic outside. They're nose to nose all the way to the wire, and it is going to be a They're off in the Preakness, and Medina Spirit broke very well again today, and so did Midnight Bourbon. And so the two of them are right together in concert. Tour is third on their outside as they race by us the first time. A very headstrong Francisco de Ina is next, then Crowded Trade. Risk taking in behind them. Ram on the inside of Rombauer, and then Unbridled Honor, and the early trailer is Keep Me in Mind as the Derby winner Medina Spirit leads them through this first quarter mile and into the clubhouse turn. That first quarter was 23 and 3/5 seconds, and the lead is just a half a length. On the outside, Midnight Bourbon continues to press the pace in second as they go to the backstretch. These two are 1-2. Then on the inside comes Crowded Trade, and on the far outside, Concert Tour is 2.5 lengths behind as they continue through this half mile in 46.93 seconds. So Medina Spirit's the leader. He's off the rail though, and Francisco de Ina has slipped through on the inside. The horse from Japan is only a neck back. Midnight Bourbon is next, and then Rombauer, who's close up, and on his outside comes Concert Tour. So they make their way around the far turn. Medina Spirit and John Velasquez have the lead as Rod Ortiz and Midnight Bourbon continue to press 3/4 in 110.97 seconds. Francisco de Ina starts to retreat. Rombauer grabs third. Concert Tour comes up on the far outside, but he's not keeping up at this stage. Midnight Bourbon grabs the lead from Medina Spirit, and they're stride for stride, and they're into the stretch. Medina Spirit fights on the outside. Midnight Bourbon. Rombauer is rolling up to them, coming by the 8th pole. It is now Rombauer storming to the front, taking over from Midnight Bourbon. Medina Spirit has dropped back. Keep Me in Mind is fourth. Rombauer and Flavian Pratt win the Preakness, pulling away by 4 on the wire. They're off in the Preakness. Early voting as expected has Early Speed and Armagnac 2. It's these two out to the front. Skippy Longstocking on the far outside. Simplification down toward the rail. Fenwick is in between those two. Then comes Creative Minister toward the inside. Happy Jack is next. Epicenter taken well off the pace by Joel Rosario. They are second last early, leading the filly Secret Oath, who's last of them all, as they reach for that first turn. The pace is not all that fast. 24.32 seconds for that opening quarter mile. And it's the longest shot of the race in front. Armagnac is the leader as they make their way to the backstretch. Early voting taken to the outside. Now a length back, running in second by 2. Simplification tracks in third. Happy Jack fourth to the outside. Creative Minister is fifth. Epicenter sitting right behind him. 6 lengths behind, right alongside of Skippy, Longstocking, and Fenwick. Secret Oath is last of them all here. 47 and 2/5 seconds for this half mile as they continue up the backstretch with Armagnac in front, moving for the far turn. Early voting on the outside is second. Armagnac in early voting will take them into the turn 1-2, and Creative Minister is right behind them. Then Simplification. Meanwhile, Epicenter is on the rail, in behind a wall of horses. He's 5 lengths off the lead as they round the far turn. Early voting comes up to the neck of Armagnac and pokes ahead in front. Secret Oath has made her run now, and here she comes from the back of the pack. She has stormed up into third. Creative Minister fourth. Epicenter cuts the corner in fifth, and they're into the stretch. And it's Early Voting who comes into the final furlong with a 3-length lead. Secret Oath is second. Epicenter is on the rail. Behind them, Creative Minister. Then it's Armagnac. It is Early Voting reaching for the wire. Epicenter closing on the inside. Early Voting, Epicenter. Early Voting comes inside and wins it. He wins the Preakness by a length and a half. They're off in the Preakness. It was a very good start for National Treasure today. Mage came out pretty well. In fact, he's going to be close. There goes Coffee with Cristo, moving up on the outside. Blazing Sevens away, running in third. Mage closer to the pace today. He's 3 lengths off the lead with 1 lap to go. Red Route 1 is next, and then Perform. And late running long shot, Chase the Chaos chases National Treasure into that first turn. He's on top by 2 lengths. Goes by that opening quarter mile in 23.95 seconds. Pace is a moderate one. Coffee with Chris, the Maryland runner, is second. And then Blazing Sevens on the outside. Javier Castellano finds a cozy spot with the Kentucky Derby winner Mage. They're 4 lengths off the lead entering the backstretch. Route 1 is right to the inside. Then comes Perform and Chase the Chaos. The half mile, a pedestrian one, was 48.92 seconds. Advantage National Treasure, who heads up the backstretch 3/4 of a length ahead. Coffee with Chris is second. Red Route 1 has made a move on the inside. Blazing Sevens is 3 wide. Mage is right behind them. He's still 3 lengths behind with a half mile left. Then Perform and Chase the Chaos. Around the far turn, National Treasure is the leader. Javier Castellano has now taken Mage to the outside. He's moved up into third as Blazing Sevens takes on front-running National Treasure coming toward the top of the stretch. National Treasure off the turn in front. Blazing Sevens alongside. Mage is 2.5 lengths behind them. Red Route 1 cuts the corner, and they're into the stretch. National Treasure taken on by Blazing Sevens. Mage wanders inside. Still work to do with him. National Treasure digging in. Blazing Sevens. Mage is third. It's National Treasure. It's Blazing Sevens putting on a show in the Preakness. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be National Treasure. John Velasquez. They're off in the Preakness. Mystic Dan came out very well. So to Imagination. Sees the Gray. Goes up in between horses, and Brian Hernandez is going to take back on Mystic Dan as Sees the Gray takes the early lead. Imagination on the outside is second. These two to set the pace 3 lengths ahead of Mystic Dan and Just Steel. Then Catching Freedom. Tuscan Gold in behind them. Uncle Heavy and Mugatu at the back of the pack. The opening quarter mile was 24.04 seconds for front-running Sees the Gray, who has seized the lead, and Frankie Dettori is keeping Imagination well off the rail in second, a length behind. And then comes Mystic Dan, who's on the rail just alongside of Just Steel. They've got 2.5 on Catching Freedom, who's fifth and 7 lengths off the lead. Then Tuscan Gold, Uncle Heavy on the inside, and Mugatu. 47.33 was the half mile for Sees the Gray, who heads up the backstretch in front with Imagination, his closest pursuer, in second. Just Steel and Mystic Dan are heads apart, third and fourth. Catching Freedom is well held, fifth in behind them with 5 lengths to make up at the half-mile pole. Tuscan Gold is next. Around the far turn they go, and it is still Sees the Gray who leads the way for D. Wayne Lucas and has been there every step of the way so far. Mystic Dan has made a move, and now he's just to the outside. He's taken second. Then comes Imagination in third as they come to the top of the stretch. Sees the gray, turning for home in front. Mystic Dan confronts him, catching Freedom, now right behind and swinging to the outside. Sees the gray, is still there. Mystic Dan bearing down on the outside. Sees the gray, won't go away. Mystic Dan catching Freedom, moving down the center of the track. But Wade Lucas has got it. Sees the gray, wins the Preakness.